There is a moment that comes to every human being, not in death itself, but in the quiet before sleep, when the question rises unbidden. What is death? What is after this life? Every generation has thought about this question. The pharaohs built mountains of stone around it. The philosophers argued through the night because of it. The mystics wept and the poets reached for words that kept slipping away. And yet here we are, still asking. Not because no one has answered, but because the answer, when it comes, cannot be explained, it can only be felt. What you are about to hear is not a theory. It is not a belief system to be evaluated or compared. It is a vision of reality, ancient, luminous, and everlasting.
Within you, beneath every thought and feeling and memory, there is something that cannot be touched by time. Not your mind, not your personality, not even your memories. Something that was present before your first breath and will continue long after your last. Your core, the soul, is not produced by the body or this world. It does not emerge from matter. It is of a deeper nature entirely, a part of divine reality that associates with the body during this life the way light associates with a mirror. The mirror can shatter. The light continues. This world, as real and as beautiful and as painful as it is not all. The tree of life did not bring you forth by mistake. It birthed you so you can become to develop capacities that have no use in this world, but are everything in the next. Abdul-Baha explained that just as the human embryo develops eyes, ears, and hands in a world where it cannot yet use them, preparing for a life it cannot yet imagine, so too does the soul develop qualities and powers here that only fully flower in the life to come.
What if death is not an end at all? What if it is an unfolding, a process of shedding, a transmutation of life from one state of existence into a fuller one? Baha'u'llah described this world as the world of the womb, and death is the moment of birth into a reality far more vivid and alive than anything that one can imagine. What we lose is limitation. What we discover is beyond all imagination. A river doesn't end when it reaches the ocean. It simply becomes something larger than it was. In this understanding, the moment we call death is not the end of experiences. It is the soul's first breath of open air.
But where does the soul go? Not to a static place of reward or punishment, not to an ending of any kind. What comes next is a continuation of the soul's journey, an endless movement toward infinity, toward the eternal light, toward an ever-unfolding reality termed as God. Abdul-Baha taught that the soul after death continues to progress, that spiritual growth does not end at death but accelerates. There is no arriving, no final destination except an ever-deepening closeness to God. Baha'u'llah wrote, I have made death a messenger of joy to thee, wherefore dost thou grieve? Not a threat, not a warning, a gift. Death reframed not as something happening to you, but as something being given to you. The souls of those who have passed are not gone, they are ahead, widened to a greater sphere of existence, still growing, still moving, still loving. And the connection between you and them, it is not severed by death. If anything, it deepens. The souls of the departed can influence those that are still here in the same light that your parents cared for you when you were in a womb. Abdul-Baha reassured those grieving that the bond of love between souls transcends the physical world entirely, that those we have lost are not absent. They are present in a way our senses cannot perceive, but our hearts can sometimes feel. You are not alone in your grief. You are simply separated by a veil so thin that sometimes, in your quietest moments, you could almost feel them on the other side. The love doesn't end. It just changes form. You will die. And so will everyone you have ever loved. But perhaps that is not the tragedy we have been told it is. Perhaps this life, with all its beauty and all its pain, is exactly what it was meant to be. A preparation. A womb. Baha'u'llah wrote, the soul of man is the sun by which his body is illumined, and from which it draweth its sustenance. And if the soul is the sun, then what we call death is simply the moment the sun is no longer covered or shackled. And what comes after is not darkness. It is a place where the bird is set free from its cage.